There we go.
Good morning.
Good morning. Try this again.
Yeah, and it's a little clearer. I hear your voice very, very clear this time.
There we go.
So anyway, you were, you mentioned you're a realtor at Fresh Yes Realty, as am I.
Yep.
By the way, you're not my twin brother. People can see that. At least not identical twins anyway. But anyway, we're moving on, but it's interesting because realtors become realtors for lots of different reasons. And, for me, it's like I'm 74 and like nobody else will hire me because I'm so old, but you probably got a different reason. And, but we come from various backgrounds. And so I understand recently your background's kind of been in social media.
Yes.
And can you talk about that a little bit? And I thought we'd discuss social media a little bit this morning.
Sure. So, yes, I have a background in social media. I've kind of done it all from digital marketing to print, everything SEO, all that good stuff. And that's kind of how I got into real estate.
Wow. And so, how does, what are the benefits of social media? I mean, first of all, you hear all the time sometimes that, that it's bad. And but there's good things too. I mean, and from a bad perspective, I think you have to be careful what you put on social media sometimes. I've heard of people being fired for their social media comments when they don't match the culture of the company that they're working for, are not hired because of their comments. That because employers are researching some of that before they hire people these days.
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely.
And by the way, you're a realtor, and so somebody might actually look you up to see what you're commenting on.
Yep. Definitely have to be aware of what you're doing on social media. It has to be family friendly at all times.
Okay, so that's that's kind of a negative side, but there's a good side too. What about building relationships? I mean, that could be, I think, a positive.
Social media can change your life. I mean, look at how many people are at your fingertips here with it, especially with real estate,
Only 10, Thomas, only 10.
But look at how many people are on Instagram every day.
Well, yeah, and and Instagram, by the way, is from what I understand, is not necessarily the top provider at the moment. I think YouTube is I think I read somewhere like YouTube was like 73% and Instagram was like 35%.
Yep.
So YouTube is heading the market right now. If somebody's like looking to get more stuff out there, I guess.
The way, though, I consume social media, I think of Instagram as like a traditional social media platform. It's one of the big ones. YouTube is more video that I watch. It's not really you interact with people, but it is still social media,
Sure.
Yeah.
But
Monica,
I use YouTube for everything. I mean, I do.
Yeah, me too.
I fixed a dishwasher with it. The other day I looked up, I was replacing a toilet thing, the guts of the toilet, and so I ended up having to call a plumber because I'm so good at it. But so it only cost me $200 plus the parts I wasted. But but anyway, but building relationships. I mean, you can, I guess, reach out to people other places and build friendships.
Yeah, definitely. Look at how many people are following Frez Yes,
Oh yeah.
We have the biggest social media following of any brokerage in town that I know of.
Yeah, what I like about our website, basically, our social media thing, is that when you log on, you're not besieged with buy this house, here's this house. You almost have to request the information on a house. because there's so much other information on there. And, just I think the website, it was built to help people rather than sell people.
Yeah, definitely. Here, one second, Dan. We're going to go take a tour of the office. We're getting Frez Yes on this call.
Oh, okay.
I have you on the gimbal, by the way. Say hi to our office.
Hi, office.
You're going live with us, not you.
I requested it.
Dan, can you add Frez Yes to the call, please?
I can invite Frez Yes, I guess. Is that?
We're on Instagram Live. We're having a town hall. Yep.
Yes. Invite?
No, we're just hanging out. It's the office. It's only us. There we go. Leon's getting on it. Just put it in front of Leon.
Okay,
there we go. We're too close. Like, Leon, you want to do it? You want to go live with us on the Frez Yes account?
I'm actually about to be on the call. Sure.
So, that's fine. Well, I guess we tried.
Okay, and that's okay,
Yeah, we're just going to use...
Yeah,
Ashley, just leave the camera pointing at the ceiling. That works.
Well, I was just looking at, the benefits of, for one thing, I think, you can use it to educate yourself.
Yep.
And you said you were doing this for doctors, right? And so what kind of stuff were you putting out for them? I mean,
so I did sports medicine, physical therapy offices, urgent cares, all kinds of doctors' offices. So that was like more of a content creation job and engagement. That's kind of,
They're just using me for clout. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we are using you for clout. And look how many people are jumping on.
oh, wow.
So, I do Instagram a la carte. I do different social media packages, but I also do individual services a la carte, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, kind of like a restaurant.
And that's why we have the Frez Yes account jumping on here, because we never go live on it, and we're both Frez Yes agents, so we're using it today.
So now it's my fault, right, for never jumping on before. Thanks.
No. You jumped on it, but we're on it talking about real estate and social media.
Well, that's the thing. I don't kind of view it that way, to be honest with you. I kind of view it as, social media. The real estate is kind of a collateral kind of thing. It's, because if we can help people understand social media, then I think, I subscribe to Zig Ziglar's theory. When you help enough other people get what they want, you get what you want, basically.
Speaking of, hey, real quick, we have High Rev Diego on here. What's up, bro? I know Westbound and Down, they're the homies right across the way from you. We have High Rev Diego on here, who's local car tuner.
Wow.
Yep. We have a bunch of other Frez Yes agents too. What's up, guys?
But and you know what? Some of them may not know that you have some expertise in this.
No, and that's why we're on here, is because who else is going to get on here besides us? The Tomas and Tomas.
Yeah. Now, and they're not twins either, by the way.
Nope. No, we're unidentical twins.
Yes.
So, all right. So I look at some stuff, and so I looked at this a little bit, and it's kind of like YouTube is like 70%, Facebook 68%, Instagram's 35%, Pinterest comes in at like 29%, Snapchat's still there, LinkedIn is there, Twitter is 24%, LinkedIn was 25%, by the way. So you look at all these different platforms, and they kind of like have all different purposes, don't they? I mean,
I use them as different demographics, is where I think of it as.
That's fair.
It depends on the type of listing I have, is where I'm going to promote it mainly.
Okay.
Is how I think of them. And especially our society is changing from where what demographics are on each platform are changing now.
So
You
if
know,
you have a gourmet kitchen, you're going to go to Pinterest?
no, if I have a gourmet kitchen, I'm going to Facebook.
Oh, okay.
For
All right.
Gourmet Kitchen, I feel like you just go to all of them. I mean, like,
Yeah.
like you're saying, the society now. Pinterest is more like, I don't even know. I don't use Pinterest, but I know
Me neither.
Facebook. I see a lot of older people on Facebook. Instagram is like more well-rounded, and Twitter is like younger people. I mean, so I usually don't.
Twitter is dead.
Yeah, well, it's not really business orientated as much as you can with Instagram and Facebook.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
So, well, you know, and that's the thing. You know, the thing about it is too is like people don't understand. You know, they can go. You know, I say that not knowing that, but you know, we're here to answer questions and help people with answers as much as selling them something. Or
definitely.
Trying to, you know, because, you know, everyone is not going to sell a house today. Everyone is not going to buy a house today. So you look at that, but everyone can use information today. Yeah,
That's real.
What's the market doing today? How does that affect me? Because even if you're not buying or selling a house, you're being affected by what the market's doing, whether it's a decrease in your property value or an increase in your property value. You know, I think one of the questions I saw the other day was, you know, if rents keep going up, what does that do to your property value?
Yep.
Does it lower it or raise it?
It's going to make your property value go up, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and so, you know, I think Monday
Like
I'm
tiny
going
water
to
games.
maybe they are twins. I don't know. You know, it's kind of like that movie Danny DeVito and Arnold. You know, they're both doing the same thing at the same time. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, you sit there. You know, there's all kinds of things, you know, that we can answer and help with. A lot of people don't know about. You know, they think they can't buy something, you know, because they don't have enough money. You know, I did a deal, I think it was 2 years ago now, but the person borrowed the interest, they borrowed the earnest money, they borrowed the down payment, and they borrowed the loan for the house.
Yep.
You know, but there were different programs out there that allowed that to happen.
In that deal, did they come? Was there anything out of pocket at all?
No.
Yep, that's cool.
You know, and, you know, I can tell you personally, you know, I bought a house in 2008, give or take, and I had to come up with $5,000. I bought it was a Lennar home, and it was a new home. It had fallen out of escrow 3 times, and so they wanted to get it off their inventory. And so I put down $5,000, and they paid down payment and closing costs, and essentially they gave me $4,500 back at the end.
Wow.
Of the day.
Wow.
Was this
you know,
was
that's
this
not
into the
happen.
crash?
Yeah, but that's not going to happen all the time, you know.
Yeah.
But there are things that go on that we don't know about unless we look into it. In fact, you know, like last week, I talked to 3 different people, and you know, you get this myth out there that, you know, you have to have 20% down. You know,
Yeah, we hear that a lot. Like that's common. You hear that all the time. It's like
and you don't.
Yeah, you don't.
You know, if you can qualify.
Hey, real estate rich, what's up, bro?
So you look at this, and you know, the best thing to do is, you know, we have a lender. I guess at the moment we're using Premier.
Yep.
They just rebranded from U.S. Mortgage.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can walk into our office and walk to the back of the office and find an agent to talk about, you know, what's available for you.
Which a lot of brokerages don't have that access.
Correct.
You know.
Correct. So, you know, and, you know, the lack of knowledge is what holds people back most of the time, I think. You know, it's like anything else. And, you know, it's fear. Fear. And fear has the explanation of false education appearing real. And that's how I spell fear: false education appearing real. So, and luck. If you want to get luck, laboring under correct knowledge. And
wow, I like that one.
Yeah, well, I didn't make those up, by the way.
Hey, you could have took credit for those ones.
Yeah, that one I was going to give you credit for.
Yeah, that could have been Dennis Whaley with Seeds of Greatness, or any number of people that I've listened to over the years. But it holds so true. Laboring luck. When your luck is laboring under correct knowledge. When you have the correct knowledge, when you know what you're doing, you can move forward and do things.
Mm-hmm.
So
just like we were talking about yesterday, really, like our services on the buying side, it's free. Like, I don't think a lot of people know that. And I think a lot of people, when you talk to them, they think like, oh, as soon as you start talking to us, well, what is it going to cost? Well, they start thinking, oh, I'm going to buy a house, so I have to, if I'm talking to an agent, I have to buy a house. And it's like, no, you don't have to buy anything. Nothing happens until the sale is closed. Then you're going to pay. But before all that, all this information is for free. So that's why you want to be, getting into the game way before you're even looking to get a house. That way you know what you're doing here. It's not all last minute. So
that's an interesting thing. So here's my question for both of you guys. Both of you guys represent buyers occasionally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do they have to pay you?
Nothing.
Nothing. You work for free?
I work for free.
For buyers.
Dan, real
For
quick,
buyers.
I know you're going to like this quote. You don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great.
Mm.
You know who said that one?
So, I'm 74. I've heard that probably 20 years ago. When you young guys come along, you think all this stuff is new,
Hey, I'm learning from you, Dan. That's why we're here.
Yes, sir. Just trying to soak it all in. We're just soaking it all in.
Yeah, everything old is new again. I mean, when I had holes in my jeans, my mom made me buy a new pair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have holes in my jeans right now. What do you mean?
Those are the holes in your jeans is the new look. That's
and you have to pay more for that, right?
Yeah, now it's the new fit and it's upselled.
You made fun of all these companies that were buying used blue jeans for years and years and years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they're reselling them. So anyway.
Yeah.
All right, guys, back on track here. So I, and I'm doing all the talking, and you guys are part of this thing too. But so I look at this, and it's building relationships. Sharing your expertise on multimedia. And hopefully when we're out there sharing this information, we don't come across saying, "Oh, here, go buy something from me." Hopefully it would come across as, I'm here to help answer questions and help you if I can, if you need it. We are never going to, if you have an agent that you like, we're never going to sit there and say, oh, don't use that person. That, first of all, it wouldn't be ethical.
Right.
And second of all, it wouldn't be the right thing to do.
Yeah, definitely. Bless you.
Thank you.
So, the other thing is, increase visibility. When you're using social media, I think that's part of what you're trying to do. You're partially trying to increase your visibility. And you know what? There's a reason to do that. And the reason in my mind is you can't help someone if they don't know you're there.
It's very true.
And sometimes people need choices. Just because, and a lot of people use the first realtor that comes along and asks them. And that's a statistic somewhere.
Right. The majority of people use the first realtor they interact with. Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it's the best realtor for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I think at some point we have a thing that says, here's 5 questions you should ask your realtor. And so you should put those 5 questions out for everyone. So,
Oh, I did see that.
but and then the other thing is just, social media to educate yourself. Just looking at what other people are saying and doing, is an education in itself. I mean, it doesn't mean everything's valid.
Would be that deep.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
I've kind of learned lately I need to start posting more first-time home buyer information. Is where I think I'm trying to go with my social media. Is I get so many people that message me
Right,
and are
right.
asking, hey,
Right. Okay.
all these like first-time home buyer loan questions. I'm like,
I got
I
it.
know it, but I've never posted about it. So I think that's where I'm gonna like try to work on for social media.
Well, here's a question for you. What's a first-time home buyer?
Anybody that hasn't purchased in 3 years.
Correct. A lot of times people think because I bought a house
Not
before,
to me.
I'm not a first-time home buyer.
Just say it.
Nope. And if you haven't purchased in 3 years, then you still can get a new FHA, right?
Right. Okay, we got the other Tomas in there. I can't. He's having a conversation. I can't hear.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. And so the other thing is instant connectability almost sometimes too.
I
Yeah,
love
that's
who I
right.
can connect with on social media. To this day, I'm still amazed at the people I meet because of social media.
Yeah. Well, I remember a story. There was a gentleman who was in sales, and he wasn't the prettiest person in the world. And so he would always connect with people on the phone actually first and build the relationship and the friendship. And then, later they would meet in person. And once you have a relationship with someone, it doesn't matter so much what they look like,
Yeah, definitely.
So that's the other thing. And speaking of relationships, I think we should all work on building relationships. And it doesn't matter whether it's your car mechanic or your plumber or your electrician or whoever.
Yep. I'm actually working with my mechanic right now on trying to find him an income producing commercial property.
Okay. But it's and when you say that, what you're really saying, I think, is find someone you trust.
Yes.
And because that's really what it's about is, and as a realtor, someone puts an immense amount of trust in you to help them. And, and we need to always honor that. So.
Yeah, I think so. That's to build on that. One thing I've always said to every social media client I've ever worked with is the purpose of social media is to build trust without knowing the person you're in your audience. That's what this is about. That's why I'm doing these live. We're going to start doing these lives frequently, is because that's how we build trust. Is you can see me, you can talk to me, you can ask a question in the comments. I'm here to show people we're regular people.
Exactly. And on top of that, you get an insight on who we are, like our personalities. We're not all business. And that's one of the big things too. When I talk to my clients, we're intermingling at the same time. We're talking about business. It's rapport building and it's business. And when you can really interact within the two, that's when you really have that good feeling. It's like, man, I'm really helping this person. And as a realtor, that's the feeling that we want. I'm not looking to sell no one. We're looking to help people. And that's the best feeling, is when you can help someone and you can really see in their face they're satisfied with your help. Like that's one of the best feelings in the world, for me at least.
You look at referrals kind of, and you say, why would someone refer you? Here's the thing: is if you go to a movie and you really like the movie, do you tell anyone?
Yeah.
You do.
Tell everyone.
Yeah.
That is a great way to put it, Dan.
So if you do a good job and somebody asks about, who'd you use, they're more than likely going to say, because you did a good job. It's like going to a good movie, and then telling people. I mean, if you go to the dentist and you say, who's your dentist, and you got a great dentist, you know, same thing. You know, people recommend people who they trust.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, guys, we've been on here for a little while this morning. You guys have any closing thoughts on this?
Dan, I want to give you another one of my favorite quotes. Are you ready for it?
Sure.
Let me know if you know who this is from. Happiness is the ability to move forward, knowing the future will be better than the past.
Didn't you do that? Didn't you write that?
I wish I did. I can't take credit for that one. That is one of your people.
Oh, you know, I will tell you that there was a time when, and I'll just say this, there was a time when I managed 22 states for this big telecommunications company with 3 letters out of St. Louis, Missouri. And there was also a time when I got kicked out of that job, you know, and 6 months later I got the job back. You know, and I got kicked out because nobody liked me. Well, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
But you know, 6 months later I got the job back, but I was a different person. And the reason I was different was because from that time on, I listened to positive motivational tapes every single day. Even to this day, I don't think I ever listened to the radio again. I listen to books, and I listen to positive motivational books as much as I can. Sometimes I go into novels and stuff as well, but you cannot listen to positive motivational tapes or information every day and be unaffected.
Dan, I wanted to ask you about that. Who are your favorite motivational, like, speakers, coaches?
You know what? I've been over Dale Carnegie's Friends, How to Win Friends and Influence People, many, many, many times, because here's what happens. You read that, and man, you come out of that book and you are so pumped up to be excited to help people and do things. And then within 2 weeks, some son of a gun comes along and just blows it out of the water.
Wait, I'm sorry. What's his name again?
Dale Carnegie.
Daniel.
And you know, and then you got to read the book again. You got to get pumped up again, you know?
Yeah.
Because life happens.
We talked about this. I usually consume ebooks like that on YouTube because I have YouTube Premium, and it'll play if I turn my phone screen off. So that's usually, we talked about this. Like, you're an Audible guy, I'm a YouTube guy.
Yeah. So, you know, and the other thing, you know, Les Brown.
Yes, Les Brown.
Motivational speaker. Anything but Zig Ziglar.
So those 2 quotes that I gave you were Zig Ziglar quotes.
Some of the older people, you know, Dennis Waitley, you know, Seeds of Greatness. Yeah, these, you know, I've also listened to some newer stuff, you know, 10X, you know, which basically just says do 10 times more than you're doing already.
That's Grant Cardone, right?
Yeah. Yes. You know, there's Relentless is out there. Ed Millett, he's got the power of one more. You know, but I go back. There's other things, I can't remember the author, but How to Think Like a CEO.
Yes.
I really like to listen to Andy Frisella and the MFCO, the podcast. I feel like that just pumps me up, you know, just gives me a slap in the face and just says, let's go, let's get it, you know. I really like Andy.
There's another guy, his name's Dean Grazioli, I believe, something, I may pronounce the last name, but he teams up with Tony Robbins, you know, and they do some stuff, you know. So I mean, there's tons of stuff out there, and I use Audible because I only buy unabridged books.
Okay.
And so unabridged basically means I listen to every word. Yeah, they don't cut anything out, and I always listen at least 1.3 speed.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about.
Yeah, because your brain can handle more information than you can absorb more than normal people talking. In fact, when you're sitting in a class, you know, and teacher's talking and your mind's wandering off, it's because really they're not giving it to you fast enough.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
There's studies on that. That's not my thought. That's fact. Anyway, back to closing out here. You guys got anything else?
I got one more.
I'm letting you go first. What's up?
All right, so I just started listening to like motivational and like positive podcasts these past 2 years because I'm so blessed that I have a father who, I mean, he lives by sayings. So my whole life he's been saying things, and as I got older, I've really been able to piece things together and understand them. And I have one saying that I definitely live by. Every single day I think of this saying. It goes, if you don't got time to do it right the first time, then you got time to do it again. So that's one of my favorite things. Yeah.